What's going on there, folks? Good Sunday evening. It's the Earthmaster here on this beautiful Sunday night. It is September 11th, 2022. It's about 8:53 p.m. California time. I'm out here with my beautiful co-host, Missy Mimis,
Well, how's it going, guys?
and my fiance, by the way.
Oh,
I'm so used to saying my co-host, but my fiance as well. My soon-to-be wife. Not for sure when the wedding is, but we'll invite everyone out here for sure who wants to show up, no doubt. All right, latest quake shows a 1.2 earthquake on the globe right there. Out in, kind of looks like it's out there in, where is that? Southern Nevada, possibly?
yeah, it looks like
Kind of
it.
looks like that's popping up there. A little bit of activity ramping up over the globe here over the last 24 hours. Let's go ahead and check out the latest activity here on the USGS map here real quick. There's some movement way up in Alaska as well. Way up by the Brooks Range. Seen a 2.5 it looks like coming into the latest Alaska map. Also some activity. Well, let's bring up the all magnitudes here real quick. See what else we got cooking up there in Alaska. Not a whole lot. Some movement around Anchorage and Denali. A couple scattered earthquakes there within the last hour. Hawaii's seen a little bit of uptick as well. Looks like the Pahala area seen some movement, as well as the Loihi Seamount earlier today. No major swarms to report, though. But looking at the big picture, following all of yesterday's events, we're kind of at a standstill currently. A couple areas that have seen a little bit of increase in activity. We did see a little bit of movement down here in Georgia. Earthquake country out there in Mansfield, Georgia. I don't know about that. Not too often do we see earthquakes happening out there, but it is looks like a 2.4 kicking off there earlier this evening time frame at about 1.6 kilometers below the surface. See if anybody felt it. Looks like a few folks did report feeling that earthquake there around Mansfield, Georgia area. And far as the seismic zone goes, far as looking at the specifics of the hazards in that area, kind of sits outside of the earthquake hazard zone. But, earthquakes can occur out there on occasion, and occasionally we do see those, right? All right, let's see what else we got here around the rest of the country. Some movement out in Texas, of course, in the Arkansas area. Nothing big. Some of that movement there, some older activity. Southern California. If you look at the map here, this is pretty minimal, folks. We're only talking about a handful of quakes in the Southern California area. Not a big deal whatsoever. We're not looking at any major swarms. All this activity along the creeping section is some much older movement from earlier. Not a whole lot of activity throughout Mountain Lakes either. Things are just kind of there currently. This earthquake. When was that? That was at, looks like earlier this morning. We haven't seen any further activity out there in the Cascadia, aside from that 2.3 well off the coast of Eureka, and a little scattered activity finally showing up here on the map in the Pacific Northwest around the Washington area. Let's go ahead and check out the Tremor map while we're on it. Looks like about 214 epicenters of Tremor spread out in a little fashion here across the which valley is that? What did they call it? Well, it's kind of outside of Roseburg and Grants Pass area. Underneath this area, of course, about 45 kilometers down there into the Cascadia subduction zone. Not a big number, but kind of a little uptick over the last couple days there. Yellowstone. So Yellowstone having a little bit of activity as well. There was a 2.7 that came up here on the graph. What did I tell you guys? Anything below 2.5, and it does not get reported. Anything above that, it does on the weekends. 2.7, definitely above the 2.5 threshold. There is the latest overview here from Yellowstone National Park, and that 2.7 came in here right around the, kind of looks like about the 12:20 UTC time, I believe, right? Not 12, but it'd be... what is that? 27.
27, yeah.
0:27 UTC time. So why did I say 12?
Okay, so
Not for sure
9:12.
why, possibly, yeah. So that is the 2.7 that showed up there, and this is the epicenter area right around the northwest corner of Yellowstone National Park there. And there's been a couple other smaller quakes there in the mix as well. Looks like this one here came in about an hour later, much smaller than the 2.7, but still a little bit of spitter spatter there from Yellowstone tonight. Not turning into any swarming right now, but aside from just a couple different earthquakes there in the vicinity of the right around the Maple Creek and Holmes Hill area of Yellowstone. All right, what else we got here? Let's go ahead and check out over here. If you look, the timestamps here from much earlier this afternoon, we haven't really seen a whole lot of movement kicking up here. In fact, we've come to a halt in terms of earthquake activity. The last quake within the Western Pacific and adjacent plates over here is down into the Japan Trench at 168 kilometers. Got a 5.0 that kicked up. Since then, things kind of came to a halt.
Very quiet.
So I guess for now, that teeter-totter effect kind of tilting over to the west coast. But we did see, and this one right here is way down there, folks, 615 kilometers. This one kicked up earlier this afternoon, a 4.5. Way down there, 615 kilometers deep. We don't normally see that deep of earthquake activity outside of this region here, or within this region. So definitely a lot going on down there. There's been a whole lot going on overall throughout the this plate boundary. A lot going on. So I don't think we're over yet in terms of earthquake activity. Just for now, temporary halt and pause with the momentum, so to speak, of the activity there in the Western Pacific and the Indonesia area. Earthquakes Canada tonight. See if we got anything cooking up there. Not cooking. Those guys are much cooler than we are. Last earthquake was a few days ago, it looks like, up there in the Yukon territories. But that's about it. I don't know if they report over the weekend, but nothing's showing up here across the area.
Space weather.
We can check out space weather real quick and get back to our movie. Missy Mimi's and me just kind of enjoying a little bit of nighttime relaxation here without the kids. Just kind of kicking back and enjoying a movie there, which is kind of cool. We don't get to do it too often, so we like to, spend a little bit of quality time here and enjoy some peace and quiet without the kids screaming and yelling. And
yeah, they're fun. They keep us on our toes.
They do.
They'll be back later.
They do. Yeah, they'll definitely be back later. But I enjoy these quiet times. Let me tell you, it's a good time to enjoy a movie or music or even a good book if you have one. So, all right, guys, let's see what we got. 3088 is the old sunspot, which is now kind of coming back into view on the southeastern limb. That's going to be this bad boy right here. Did you know that?
Yeah, I seen that.
Remember 3088 came over here across about a week or so ago, producing a bunch of M flares and C flares, and it finally kicked off. Well, this is the old sunspot here, 3088, coming back with some activity. Notice the activity is kind of amplifying here a little bit in the not X flare yet, but quite a few C flares blasting here throughout the day and evening time frame. So I believe that is our bad boy coming back around for a little bit of visiting. 3098 is growing pretty drastically, and if you look here, there is some growing sunspots, and the magnetic fields are getting a little bit more complex up here. 3088, you can just barely see here the yellow on the southeastern limb. We'll get a better glimpse of that tomorrow morning in the update. But 3098, 3094 appear to be the potentials right now. There is 3098 in the red. It does harbor a beta gamma class magnetic field. Flare threat sits at about 70% chance and 15% chance for an M flare. X flare, I don't think so, but either way, this thing has been rapidly developing throughout the day today, so we will keep an eye on that one for sure. And of course, 3088, as it comes back around and gets renamed, once it's on the visible side of the sun. Aside from that, not a whole lot going on across the auroras. A little bit of a chance there at the higher latitudes in the Canada. KP index right around the 3 range, it looks like right now. But overall, things kind of minimal as far as the current solar weather data goes. But things could get pretty active here in the coming days ahead. All right. Also, by the way, we did change up the Earthquake 3D Bells program, at least for the magnitudes 7.0 and above. And so right now, if you hear anything on the Earthquake 3D Globe on the live stream, you'll hear all the normal music and the bells until it reaches a magnitude 7.0 earthquake. And then we've adjusted the audio, so to speak, for a kind of a little bit more
Dramatic.
noticeable. Well, dramatic. If you want to use the word dramatic, I guess.
Well, it makes a good tone for a larger quake. Basically.
Yeah, and it will probably get your attention too if you start hearing this thing go off. So, kind of a little bit more of an alert tone. Instead of counting the bells, you'll just hear this alert tone for anything above 7.0. 7.0 and above will be a new tone. And I might, in the future here, mix up the magnitudes between, 2 and the 7 range to something different. We've been using it for so long, just with that little tone and the bells. And it's kind of cool, but I could use pretty much anything I want to in terms of a notification when it comes to the magnitude. So we're trying it out. We're testing it out. A lot of people got used to the bells. I don't want to switch it up to where people don't like it, but I think it's kind of cool. A little change is good, and more so when there's larger magnitudes. I think that's definitely a attention getter when we play the kind of alert tone for the larger earthquake. So we got any questions out here? What's going on, folks? I'm gonna have Missy Mimi's jump here on her phone real quick and see if we got actually we can go on the live stream here. We'll check it out here real quick, see what we got. Who do we have in here? It would definitely get your attention. Yes, Cindy Collins. No doubt, right? It's pretty loud and proud, so to speak. Who do we have? Okay, Lane Lair, thanks for checking in. Cindy, hey, TM and Missy Mimi's. See if I can spit it out tonight.
There, Cindy. Hi, Leo. Needs more cowbell.
Cowbell?
Oh my gosh, that's funny. It's just something people say a lot. It needs more cowbell, like with certain songs and music.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, thanks, Leo. Woo. Yeah. So, it's just a little bit of a mix-up. It's always cool to do something new, something different, try something different. But, yeah, we're doing good. Isaiah 303, thanks for checking in there. But, yeah, just kind of hanging out here on a Sunday night, enjoying the cooler weather here in California. We only hit a temperature of, I think it only reached up to 90 today. And we haven't been down in the 90s here in quite a few months. We've had nothing but hundreds. And technically, over the last week or so, it's been above 110 here in our area. So, yeah, we're enjoying that cooler weather.
That's for sure. It's definitely better than 110. Plus, the humidity brought us up in some days to a 120. Yeah,
I think we got up to 122
122
in the feels like category. So all it takes is a little bit of humidity, dew points in the low 60s, and yeah, you're cooking. Smoky, Leo. Yeah, we got smoke here in Northern California as well. Great idea for a 7.0 bell tone. Make it the Undertaker's theme song intro. Yeah, oh, I don't know about that one. It would be kind of cool, but maybe in the future we'll try that.
No, Lane, we're not barbecuing tonight.
Barbecuing? How'd I miss that? No, we couple nights. When was it? Like a week or so ago, we barbecued up a brisket. And if you guys know briskets, they're pretty big. So we had steak for the next, 6 nights or so. So I'm a little bit barbecued out, so to speak. That won't last long, trust me. I'll get that itch going on, and we'll break out the barbecue here again pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. Especially on the cooler nights is the best time to barbecue.
Definitely. I love the cool nights when it has a little bit of wind coming in. Oh, yeah.
Lane, his face. He's like, what? I know, we're always barbecuing, but hey, you know what? It's good.
Yeah, I think Canada up there, Vancouver region, getting some of that smoke from the big wildfire up in Washington. So California, we're still burning, unfortunately. Things still on fire, but they're getting a handle on it. But unfortunately, as we head towards September, the end of September, we start getting pattern changes. And that pattern change can stir up the upper level winds and also down here at the surface level, which enhances all the fires. Sometimes it just fans them completely, and they take off and get out of control. So, yeah, some of our worst fire months are coming up here, September, October, even sometimes into November. Barbecue and s'mores.
Heck yeah.
I
love s'mores.
I don't want to lose any subscribers here, but I'm not a big fan of s'mores. I never have been. I mean, I've been through numerous barbecues, campfires when we go camping. Hey, you want a s'mores? And I'm like, nah, I'll pass. I'll take a marshmallow, but I don't know.
It's because it's sweet. It's a very, very sweet.
I think it's too sweet for me. Just like donuts. I'm not a big donut fan. There's just too much intense sugar in there. But a lot of people like them, so. Mm-hmm. Missy Mimi's loves them, right?
Oh, yeah.
I see you drooling over there. Oh, yeah. 50, we're supposed to be down, well, I think we're going to be up in the, or down into the upper 50s tonight. And then potential for 80s for at least 7 days or so. So I'll take the mid 80s over 115 any day.
That's for sure.
All right, guys, we're going to bounce out of here. Have a good night, and definitely take care out there. There's a lot going on. We've seen a lot of earthquake activity over the last couple days, and a lot of adjustment. But right now we're looking at a little bit of a quiet spell, and we'll just kind of keep an eye on things and see how it plays out. Have a good night, everyone out there. Every single one of you guys. We appreciate the input and feedback and whatnot, all the comments.
Yep.
All right, Missy Mimi's.
Have a good night, guys.
We'll catch you guys a little bit later.
Stay safe out there.